too that it goes. You have to make sure. Me, you know what I'm saying? All right. All right, wait a minute. Got you. We got you. Okay. The middle of the live. Let's see what in the live. We're going to talk about the 3 elements. I want to teach you all about medicine, herbal medicine. Good herbal medicine. Good herbal medicine. Yeah. The good herbal medicine. Now, blessings and greetings in the name of the Most High. Yeah. Now, for all the years we've been doing our live videos, we've been teaching you about the organs. And we've been teaching you about conditions. But now we're going to go in depth, because now I'm going to teach you now what I learned. Yeah? And what I learned is that we have to use the elements of the atmosphere to look at what's happening in the body. Yeah. So, if you look at a vehicle is made up just like our body, you know. Different concept, same principle. So in our body, there are principles that we use from the atmosphere. Yeah? You can call it Chinese medicine, but in reality, it is African medicine. Because the elders in Grenada or in the Caribbean countries, the elders, used to use a boli when we got cut. And they used to cut that blood out. So the Chinese man took it on a different level, where he turned it into a glass and used the same cupping principle that the elders used to use in the Caribbean countries. But they used to use boli. A lot of Caribbean people know what boli is. Yeah? Now, internally, the elders in the Caribbean countries, if you're born in the Caribbean, all the countries in the Caribbean, you know that the elders used to give us herbs for cooling. Am I wrong? Am I correct? If you have an elder living in your house today, you know for a fact that the elders used to say, you know what? You got a heat, you got some rashes on your skin, you need some cooling. So they give you some soursop tea. Or they give you another herb if you have a cough. They give you some Santa Maria. Or they give you some Ven. Because the elders, the African elders, knew that the body functions as we live in the atmosphere. Yeah? Misty morning, don't see no sun. Hear that now? Misty morning, you don't see no sun. The misty is the dampness, and the sun is the heat. So when you have mist, you don't see no sun, because the clouds bar the sun. So you become damp. Here we go, man. I'm going to teach you. You see, when I teach you, I want you to go and teach other people, because each one teach one. Yeah? So we're going on a different level. Yeah? Don't forget. The 3 elements. There are more elements than these 3, but these 3 are very significant because they can cause diseases. So fire element, the wind element, and the water element. Fire element, wind element, and the heat element. Watch me. I want you to follow. That is the wind element. See him? Now he is good, but he can cause havoc too, because you can blow in your house, right, bro? So the wind is good, but the wind in excess can destroy your property. Am I lying, brother? Yeah. Let's go to the next one. Fire. Huh? Fire is good too, because you need heat to cook your foods. Like, bro? Eh? But fire can destroy your house also and burn you up. So although he's good, he's also bad. Let's go to the next one. Next one is called water. You see water? Water is good, but water can damage your property also. You follow? Water can drown you too. The elements. So that is what we're going to talk about tonight. The 3 elements. But first, we're going to talk about the Qui. So I can educate you about how the internal terrain functions in terms of the fire element, the wind element, and the water element. First, we're going to talk about the Qui, Qi. What is Qui in my medicine? They call it Chinese medicine. The Qui is the essential life force or vital energy, or we call it the breath or the air. That is what we call the Qui. Yeah? So we're going to go a little in depth so you can understand what I'm saying in terms of the lay person. Right? So that's what the Qui is. The Qui is essential, your essential life force. Like you say, God breathed into the man's, and the man become a living soul. Oh, the breath. That's your Qui. That's your energy. The life force. The breath or the air that you breathe. That's your Qui. Qui is transferable, and the Qui, which is the energy, is also transmutable. We're going to break them down for you in a little while and show you why you're getting sick. So the Qui is transferable, and the Qui is also transmutable. Digestion extract the Qui from our foods and what we drink. The digestion, whatever we digest, good or bad, it can extract the bad Qui, because there are different types of Qui, you know. It can extract the bad Qui, or it can extract the good Qui. So again, digestion, the earth system, extracts the energy or the Qui from our foods and our drink. It's going to be my book now. And it transfers that Qui to the body. When breathing, we humans and animals extract that energy or that Qui from the air. And then we transfer that Qui into the lung. They call it oxygen. Am I lying, brother? when these two forms of Qui meet, meaning that you have the what? You have the transmutable and the transferable Qui. When they meet together in the bloodstream, what do? They transmute. Remember we said transferable and transmutable. They have to work together. They have to meet together because they all are extracted from the food that we eat and from the air that we breathe. So when we breathe, we extract that energy or that frequency from the air and we transfer it to the lung. When the transferable and the mutable Qui meets in the bloodstream, they transmute. We know transmute means already now. From human Qui, which circulate throughout the body as what? Energy. That is what a Qui means. The Indians have a similar concept, like the Hindus, I believe. That this form a principle. You have evil Qui, and the evil Qui is bad-minded people who deal with hate and jealousy and envy. They have an evil Qui, and the evil Qui cause diseases. The pure Qui prolongs your life. So the pure Qui is forgiveness, no hate, no animosity, no jealousy, no envy of your brother and your sister. That's a pure Qui. So the pure Qui prolong your life. But the evil Qui, which is the bad-minded people, the ones who gossip all the time, they run behind your back and talk garbage about you. Those people have the evil Qui, and those are the ones that don't get better when they get sick. Am I lying, brother? Those are the ones with the evil Qui, the evil energy, yeah, that cause sicknesses. And when they get sick, they don't get rid of the evil Qui that is internal. And then what happens to them? They die from the disease that they have because they created the evil Qui. You have the cold Qui. You have the yin Qui. You have the yang Qui. You have the dry Qui. You have the moist Qui. And they all fall under categories. You are in herbal medicine school now. Not in bush doctors now. Yeah? Different Quis. So you, the individual, when you have a sickness, you have to know what Qui you have. So you can go into the herbal kingdom and repair the Qui that you are carrying internally. Cold Qui, yin Qui, yang Qui, dry Qui, moist Qui, evil Qui, pure Qui. Yeah? Because they're all dealing with frequencies and energy. We come into that one. Let's go again. Now we're going to look at the yin and the yang principle. In your vehicle, you have a battery that have a positive and a negative, yin and yang. Yeah? You have up and down. You up, you come down, you fall, you die. That's negative. You have narrow and broad. Yeah? Two principles. You have good, you have evil. Because we all say Satan exists, demon exists. They say demon is the bad guy, right? And you say God is a good guy. Some guys say God call God evil. But God is the principle, the principle of good, and the so-called the demons is the principle of bad. So you always have a principle, good and bad. The yin principle represents negative passive force. So if you are yin, we have to know what herbs to give you to get rid of the negativity of that disease that's causing the yin in the kidney, in the heart, in the lung, in the liver, in the intestines. We have to know if it's a yin representation or a yang representation. Yin is more female in nature. It is very dark and descending. And it is a symbol of the water element. The yin principle. Female in nature, descending, and it is a symbol of the water element. Yin and yang principle. And these principles can cause lots of diseases also. But you have to know which one you have. And that's what we're going to teach you now, so you can learn. Yang principle symbolizes positive action force. It is more macho in nature. It is high flying. It is ascending. Yeah? It is represented by the fire element. You know, you had fire and you have water. Fire going to burn. But if you have enough water, your water going to out your fire. Yeah? Because they work in sync. You can't have too much of them. Follow me now. Yin and yang have their own domain within our human body. The yin and the yang have their own domain within the human body because they deal with the fire element, which is the yang principle, and the water element, which is the yin principle. Yeah? They have to be balanced. So let's go with the head on. Boom. 3 elements: fire, heat, and wind. What is the wind element? When a person say you have wind internally, what do they mean, Patrick? What do we call trapped wind, Patrick? When you blow it in, that's trapped wind. When you have gas, that's trapped wind. When you have air in the lung that can't get out, that's trapped wind. When you have too much oxygen coming into the lung, that's trapped wind. Yeah? So, trapped wind is bloated feeling. When you have cancer in the liver, and the enzymes in the liver is affected, because these enzymes cannot function, they create lots of water, but they also trap things. Yeah? They trap wind. And when wind is trapped, the wind cannot go certain places, or if they move, they can get to the brain, they can get to your heart, they can get to any part of the body once they move. But when they are trapped in one place, they cause that organ, like the lung, to have troubles or give you more problems with shortness of breath. Follow. Air in the lung that cannot move, causing breathing problems, is trapped wind. Yeah? So when lots of people had COVID, and they went into the ER, and they give them oxygen, remember that? And they put what again? They give them too much wind. Lots of people, they won't tell you all that though. Too much wind, and because there was too much wind in some of the people's lung, their lung collapsed. Am I lying, brother? Fact, because there's too much wind in the lung. So although wind is good, too much wind can get trapped in the lung and cause the lung to malfunction. And that's why they said that we have to take in 21% of oxygen from the air we breathe, because too much oxygen is no good. Because we know for a fact that people, men as well as women, who is exercising on a regular basis for a long period of time do get oxygen free radicals. So oxygen free radicals can damage your cells and damage your organs because of excessive amount of exercising. Trap wind. Follow. The air that we breathe in the lung, when the air comes in and cannot move out, it causes a trap wind in the lung, causing you, the individual, to get breathing problems. And that is the reason why people who have COPD, people who have emphysema, people who have lung cancer, they have to be on oxygen. Why, Patrick? Because the lung cannot put it in. So they got to get a little bit of wind in the lung to keep the lung working. So when you have air that trap in your lung, you got to use plants that act as expectorants. Expectorant means that the plant will help to move the excessive amount of wind from the lung. Elecampane, honeysuckle, mullein leaf. These are only a few herbs that can remove wind when the wind is trapped in your lung. Yeah. Now, come over here, son. If you have wind that is trapped in this organ, you get bloated feeling. You get bigorrhea. You hear what we call rumbling in the belly. Rumbling in your belly means that you have too much air in your belly. Too much gases. So the wind is trapped. So because the wind is trapped in here and cannot move out properly, you get a bloated feeling that is trapped wind. And two, you get bigorrhea or intestinal rumbling. You hear lots of noise in your belly. Once you hear noise in your belly, you have trapped wind in this organ. Yes, sir. Huh? So that's what we call trapped wind. So you can have wind that is trapped in any part of the body internally and cause you to have lots of troubles. And lots of people have trapped wind, you know they have it. Especially people who have cancer. Trapped wind. Yeah? So that wind element is important because we need the wind to transport the nutrients from the food transferable with transmutable going into the digestive system, into the lower organ called the small intestines and move out, not being trapped in the large intestines because you're combining wrong. So once you combine your foods wrong, you're going to trap the wind. And you're going to have to go and take Pepto-Bismol, Tagamet, Dica, Zantac. Yeah? Because they don't remove the trap wind that you have. They only give you a good feeling, but the trap wind is still there. See? Because it is not mutable. It is not moving. Transmuting. Once a train gets stuck, in the tunnel, he can't move. He's not mutable. So once your food gets stuck in the digestive system, it is not mutable. And automatically it's not transferable. It cannot transfer the nutrients from your food into the small intestines. So you get trapped wind. And trapped wind can cause lots of gas pain. That's what we call trapped wind. But when you have trapped wind in the lung, we must go to the elecampane. We're going to go to the honeysuckle. We're going to go to the mullein leaf. Follow? Let's go again. Let's go to the water element. I have much more to teach my people. I could take you all in 4 years of school and teach you all things that you all never know, man. Yeah? And prevent sicknesses. Yeah? Water element. The kidney is the water organ of the body. The heart is the fire organ of the fire muscle of the body. Yeah? So the kidney is the water element, and we said before that the kidney retains more water than it excretes. Am I lying, nurses and doctors? I said, I'm going to say it again one more time. I said that the kidney retains more water than it excretes. Am I lying, nurses and doctors? You cannot say I'm lying, because the more water that the kidney retains, it sends that water two places. It sends it into your muscles, and it sends it into your liver. And that's why your liver also is important in water regulation. And your liver, if it's sick and have cancer, will release all the water, and that's the reason why your belly get big, because water is coming out, because the kidney retains more water than it excretes. The body is very wise. Let's go again. Now, the water element is the kidney. Now, dampness is what Patrick does. What is dampness? When you're damp, you're being slightly wet. Or air dampness. So you see now outside, the rain's going to fall, and the sky get damp. Woo! Remember what your mother used to say? When we come from school, anybody from the Caribbean will or down south will tell you the same thing. When we come from school, and we run around the park, and we get home, our mother and father say, listen to me, all your clothes damp. Take it off, because why? Or you won't catch a cold. Alright, brother? The old people know what's going on. Yeah? So, dampness is what? It is being slightly wet. Or a dampness. Or you're having damp clothes. And when you have dampness, it's a possibility that you are going to retain liquids or water. And because you're going to retain the water, a few things going to happen to you that is negative. Your belly going to start swelling. Your legs going to start to swell. Your ankles going to start to swell. Your face going to start swelling. Or your hand going to start swelling, because now you are not removing the water. You are damp. So we call it dampness. Yeah? But once you have dampness, you have to remove the dampness. That means you have excessive amount of water. So excessive amount of water cause the body to be damp. Excessive amount of water in the heart cause what Patrick does. Excessive amount of water in your heart cause congestive heart failure. Excessive amount of water in the lung cause what Patrick does? Pneumonia. Yeah. Excessive amount of water in the heart. So when you have dampness in the body, and you have kidney troubles, you have kidney disease, stage 3, stage 4, end stage, you are telling me now that you are creating, over here now, you're creating dampness in your body, because now the water organ called the kidney is not removing excessive amount of water, so you become damp internally, and that could drown your heart and drown your lung, because water is good, but excess is no good either. Am I lying, brother? Fire is good to cook, but excess fire is no good either. The wind is good for breathing, fresh air, but too much women look at your house the same way too. So they have good and they have bad principles of all of the elements. And that is what God going to use to kill off them demons. All them false teachers, false preachers, and then politicians. He don't have to have no army. All he got to do is call some hurricane. Ja! Yes. Lick them out to the hurricane. Brrr, wind in the tail. They can't do all the plane in the sky to fall down. That's all we got to do. We said, Ja! Lick them out. God say, fire. Volcanoes, bloop. He said, yeah, lick them out. Bloop, earthquake. He don't need no army. Because those are just army, you know what I'm saying? That's it. The Most High Jehovah God. There we go. So dampness is being slightly wet. A dampness, damp clause. And if you have dampness, we have to remove the dampness by using what we call diuretics. So when your doctor give you Lasix, and the doctor give you hydrochloride, or your doctor give you a water pill, he is removing dampness from your body because he is getting rid of the excessive amount of water that this water organ cannot retain or is retaining. This guy right here. But this guy is the water organ, and watch me over here, and the heart is the fire muscle. So if there is too much fire in the heart, and there is cardiomyopathy, or there is afibrillation, whereby the person is going to get blood clots, that's heat. That's fire. Because blood clots is fire. What do? We what? We come over here. We cause him now to work strong, be strong enough to remove the excessive amount of water so he don't go to him. Because he's the fire element and he over here is the water element and water out fire. So once you have troubles in the heart, you're going to have troubles in the kidney. And once you have troubles in the kidney, you're going to have troubles in the heart because they control each other. One is fire and one is water. One creates dampness and one creates heat. I tell you. See? So once you have dampness, you maybe have what we call a yin principle. And once you have dampness of the kidney, and the kidney is not working properly, we have to remove the excessive amount of dampness by using what? Corn silk. By using what? Tongue cow. By using what? Fuling or poria. By using what? Yi ren. And using uvarasi. Using dandelion leaf. Using nettle leaf. Because they all are diuretics, and some of them is what we call potassium sparing diuretics. You see what I'm saying? You know? So we have to know if there is excessive amount of dampness, if there is excessive amount of cold, if there is excessive amount of mucus, yeah? If there is excessive amount of wind, and if there is excessive amount of fire. Otherwise, you'll never fix high blood pressure. You'll never fix lung cancer. You will never fix cardiomyopathy or afibrillation. You will never fix kidney disease. You will never fix liver problems. Period. You have to know the elements and how they work in the body to fix these troubles. Yeah? And that's the reason why I'm doing all these programs. Or you have to call me on the phone. Oh God, boy. You all don't have to call me on the phone and cry out and say, I'm calling Patrick Delamont. No, that is the reason why I do these things here. So you all could lock them down and learn. So you don't have to call me on the phone. Period. Because I'm giving you all the information. These are the herbs for dampness. Now, if there is troubles in the kidney, and it is affecting the heart, and the water goes to the heart, we have to go now to the cardiac formulas because it's affecting the heart. So we have to go to the what? To the broom. If it affects the lung, we have to go to the elecampane. Or the same, the diuretics also, because we know for a fact that the kidney is the water and the heart is the fire, and the lung is the what? Is the metal. Woo! And fire burn metal. So if there is troubles in the lung, there's going to be troubles in your heart. And if there's troubles in your heart, there's going to be troubles in your lung. And if there's troubles in the lung, there's going to be troubles in the kidney. Because they all have meridians or channels that function together. Because all your cells bathe in liquid. All the cells. Alright, bro? All our cells bathe in liquid. Yeah? So the water element is significant because we have to bathe ourselves in liquid. But the cells cannot bathe in too much liquid either. It has to be a balance of liquid for the cells to bathe in there. If there is excess, you're going to get excessive amount of dampness. You're going to have damp clothes. And once you have damp clothes, your mother will say, yo, come and change the clothes because you're going to get a cold because the clothes is too wet and damp. The elders knew. Go back to the elders now. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the fire element. Heat element. Or fire element. Yeah? If your house is on fire, what do you get to out of fire? Not water? If your house is on fire, you call it fire brigade. I know they call them a fire brigade though. They should call them a water brigade. Because water they carry in. You see? Not fire brigade, call them water brigade. Your house on fire, the first people you call is the brigade to come and out your fire. And what do they use to out your fire? Water. So although the fire element is significant in cooking our foods, that same fire element could cause excessive amount of heat and cause your internal organs to become too heated and cause you to get what? Nosebleeds, red shut eyes, anxiety, insomnia, hepatitis, HPV, human papillomavirus, HSV, herpes virus, herpes simplex virus, HDLV, human T-cell lymphoma virus, and what? HIV. They are all heated conditions. They all come from heat. So what can too much heat in the body do, Patrick? They cause your nose to bleed. They cause canker sores in the mouth. So when you have HIV, AIDS, and your immune system is not responsive, it's not working for you, it's suppressed or depressed, you get canker sores in your mouth. Am I lying, brother? That is one of the side effects or symptom of AIDS. That's heat. Nosebleeds is heat. Insomnia is heat. Hot flashes in a woman going through menopause is heat. Oh, Patrick, I feel hot. I'm not a fan, but I feel red hot because the blood is heated in a woman when she's going through menopause, and the nerves become so heated that the nerves send the heat into the blood and the woman gets hot flashes. Heat, they call it. So when you're hot, what you got to do? You got to cool yourself down. What do you have to use? So too much heat can cause your nose to bleed. That's too much heat in the body, too much fire. Your fire element is in excess. We call it excess. It is ascending. It's not descending, it is ascending because it's coming through your nose. So it is ascending from below up. Yeah? Red shut eyes. That's also fire. That's a fire element. That's killing your eyes. That's a fire element. Too much fire in your body. That may cause your nose bleeds. That is too much fire in your body that causes hemorrhoids. Piles in your bottom. That's internal fire. And once you have excessive amount of internal fire, you're going to have something in one of them organs. Anxiety is excessive amount of fire. Insomnia, you can't sleep. You have what we call repetitious thinking. Your mind can't stop thinking all night. You can't sleep. That's insomnia. That's what we call excessive amount of fire. Hot flashes in women who go through menopause. That is excessive amount of fire. Crohn's disease is excessive amount of fire. Ulcers in the stomach. That is excessive amount of fire. Cancer. Excessive amount of fire. Yeah? Herpes simplex virus. Excessive amount of fire. Yeah? Human papillomavirus, 16, 18 strain, 17 strain, excessive amount of fire. Hepatitis B and C, excessive amount of fire in the liver. HTLV, human T-cell lymphoma virus that affects the lymphatic system, give you lymphoma, is excessive amount of fire. HIV, excessive amount of fire. So all viruses is excessive amount of fire. All viruses is excessive amount of heat in the body. And once you could get rid of the heat in the body, and you have the heat working in balance with the wind and the other element called the water element, your cells going to work better, and they will be able to kill for you, because Facebook, cytotoxic cells kill viruses. Facebook, cytotoxic cells kill viruses. Facebook, cytotoxic cells kill cancer cells that is implanted with a virus. That's what they do. But if there's too much heat in the body, too much, you have excess in terms of the fire element, you can't fix no virus. You can't fix nothing, because there is too much internal heat in the body. You have Crohn's disease, you're still eating the heated foods. You have an ulcer, you're still eating barbecue. You know what I mean? You have IBS, diverticulitis, Crohn's disease. All of them is heat in the body. But you're still using hot foods, still using spicy foods. They all are heat, and they created more heat in your body. So you can never fix Crohn's disease. You can never fix ulcerative colitis. You can never fix ulcers. When you have a sore foot on your foot outside, external, that's heat. That's heat. A sore foot is heat. You must use things to cool on the heat. Just like a man coming out your fire in your house and you see smoke afterwards. After you out your fire, you see smoke. You got to smoke him out. Yeah? And each day, I'm going to come, I'm going to teach you. We're going to be going in depth now. Some might not understand, but I'm talking in a layman term. When I go in depth, or you might not understand, because them kind of principles. But I'm going to teach you what the principles are. So you can prevent going into the sick care building. And you can prevent cancer. And you can prevent going to the man in a white coat on a regular basis. Yeah? And you can prevent the insurance going and pay all this money to fix your cancer. And you'll die from cancer eventually in hospice. But people don't have no discipline. How can we clear the heat in the body? There are herbs that are cooling, and there are herbs that are warming. Orange peel is a cooling bitter. Turmeric is a warming bitter. So you have to know if there is heat, because acid reflux is too much heat. Am I lying, bro? When you have acid reflux, that's heat. So you have to use the cooling bitters with acid reflux, and you have to put the warming bitters, because you don't want the body become too cold or too cool. Because too cold is no good, and too hot is no good either. They have to be balanced. And that's why your radiator in your car is balanced. So you can get enough heat in your vehicle and enough air conditioning in the winter, in the summertime. Because it is balanced. The radiator. If you push up the heat too much, you have to come out of the vehicle because too much heat. You're going to sweat to death. If you have too much cold or too much air conditioning, you get too cold. You're going to freeze to death. I like that. Mm-hmm. And it's just reality I'm speaking. You know what I mean? So herbs to clear the heat in your body. There's a Chinese herb called chrysanthemum. There's another herb called dandelion root, not dandelion leaf. Dandelion leaf and root are two different, the family same. Taraxacum officinale, botanical name, but they are working in different areas. Dandelion root works on the liver, so if there is heat in the liver, dandelion root will get rid of the excessive amount of heat in that organ, because it gets rid of environmental toxins in the organ called the liver. Elderberry is a very good herb to get rid of heat, especially when you have a virus. Yeah? Vegetables like cucumbers, lettuce, watermelon, celery. They're all cooling vegetables. So if you are in a desert and you have a glass of cucumbers, lettuce, watermelon, celery, you get cooled down. When a woman goes through hot flashes from menopause, all she has to do is to drink some cucumber juice mixed with lettuce, watermelon, and well, watermelon should be separate, and celery, and she's going to cool on her hot flashes with black horse and progesterone cream, because she's going through that change. She's excess. You follow me, brother? I don't want to go too much tonight, you know. We can kind of stop it today, you know what I mean? I don't want to go too much. We're going to stop it here. But the next time, I want you to get a pen and paper, because we're going in depth. In depth we're going. And we're going to show you how you can prevent cancer. How you can prevent excessive amount of heat. And how you can normalize the water balance in your body, just like you can normalize it in your radiator in your vehicle. We're going to teach you how to prevent wind from trapping in the lung and causing you to get lung troubles. And if you do have lung troubles and they trap there, we're going to teach you how to remove them. You follow? That's why I am here. To teach people. Not to preach. I'm not a preacher. I'm a teacher. I teach you what to do. I come and I show you what to do. I show you how to prevent sicknesses. I show you how to get cancer out of your system. I showed you how to strengthen your vascular walls. I showed you, yeah, what you can do to kill cancer cells. I showed you what you can do to strengthen the walls of the veins with cadherins. I showed you all that, yeah? And when I show you these things, I want you to go into your neighborhood. And I want you to teach your people in your neighborhood. You should become a herbalist in your community, especially in the black community. Because in the black community is where all the cancer at. In the black community is where all the kidney disease at. In the black community is where all the prostate cancer at. In the black community is where all the breast cancer at. In the black community, they are removing our women's uterus and ovaries and cervix and still dying from cancer. In the black community. So we have to be our own doctors and learn about our body and how it functions. So when you have heat, you know for a fact, Patrick Des taught me what to do to remove the heat. When you have excessive amount of wind, Patrick Des taught me how to remove the wind. When you have not water, Patrick Des taught me how to remove the excessive amount of water so my kidney and my heart and my lung can function. Hey, brother? There we go, man. Sir. Don't jump in the water if you can't swim, eh? If you have excessive amount of water, you can't swim, you go drown. Don't jump in the water if you can't swim. Watch me. Watch me. Do not jump in the water if you cannot swim. You go drown. Water is good, but you go drown here. The power of philosophy. The power of philosophy is floating through my head. It is light like a feather, but it is like heavy like lead. Light like a feather means it is what? It is damp. And the head, the heavy like lead in the brain means it's like heat. God is great, man. Christie Books products is going to be in Ambrosia soon. Don't forget, we have the Christie Books anti-eczema, antifungal cream coming to Ambrosia soon. We have the Radiant Skin and more stuff for funguses and hair and skin and stuff like that. So her products are going to be here in Ambrosia real soon. So you can call Ambrosia 718-469-0985 and you can get Christie Des products soon. You know what I mean? We have to support our people because at the end of the day, we ain't own no Macy's. We ain't own no JC Penney. We ain't own no, we ain't own no Jimmy Jazz. We are just the consumers of these people. Learn that in your black community. and start to run them out. That coming in and buy up your community and run you out to go someplace else. Learn to buy your own stuff in your own community and keep your money in there so your community can become richer like theirs. Because when they come into your community, they take your money and they go out of your community and theirs become richer and yours become poorer. Learn that. Malcolm X taught me that. Blessed love. Yes, sir. The great Malcolm X. Black people generate $20 billion a year. Black people regenerate $20 billion a year in America, and we have nothing. Oh, we have a house. You have a house in this place. Yeah, you have a house. You're paying the bank though. And good news for the people in the UK. I'll be in the UK, which is the United Kingdom, England, on the 16th of October. We're going to give you 2 numbers to call for Naomi and 1 for Monique. And we're going to do 3 seminars in the UK. And we're going to have a lot of consultations. So we're going to give you a number on our next live with the flyers and tell you where we're going to be in the UK on October 16th. And we're going to be in Florida for a big conference on cancer with some good, mean doctors who don't do chemotherapy. On the 13th of October in Jacksonville, I'll be there.